Morning. How you doing? This is the 0DTE Morning Market Analysis, and I'm Coach Ernie, and today's focus is going to be on tariffs. Yes, tariffs. What happened with tariffs? What happened with the VIX? The VIX has dropped dramatically overnight, down, 8%. But let me tell you, it may have calmed for now. I'm just checking it out and just seeing just how dramatic this is. We're nearing Zombieland. But this lull is this is the lull before the storm or the squall. I like to think of it more of a squall because it's not going to be a big storm. It is going to be a shit show. This is a hidden push for global currency chaos put on by this administration. There's actually a hidden agenda that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. But for us 0DTE butterfly traders, well, I think we're going to see, even though this is, like I said, a lull before the storm, VIX coming down, but that's going to be temporary. There's going to be what I would call tariff whispers that are going to keep that VIX elevated for the time being, and it's going to be ripe for 0DTE butterfly premium collection opportunities. So that's it. Let's go to the charts and check out our morning analysis, and then we'll talk a little bit more about those currency wars that are going to be spurred on by tariff manipulation. Off to the charts. Oh, I did it right this time. Awesome, yeah. As I said, the VIX has dropped dramatically, as we can see over here to the right-hand side. Big spike. Came down, but I don't think that we're done yet. Like I said, look for tariff whispers. But as it stands today, volatility is super down. We're looking still at 25 to 35 wide. Let's go to the big ass fly so that we can check that out and see what end of that spectrum that we should be on. All right, because we're going to look at that 50 wide at the money butterfly. And now there's a big surprise. We're at 22. We haven't seen above 20 in the morning for quite some time. Probably, I don't know, many weeks. So we're getting up to that point where the big ass fly in the morning is not a viable solution. Anything under 25, we're still good as taking that as a trade. But it also has impact on how we decide what width that we're going to go with. However, I have a feeling that particularly where we're situated with the VIX and on the volume profile, we're hitting some low liquidity areas for now, but soon we're going up to another node, and there will be high liquidity. I think we're going to be bouncing between nodes for a while, kind of range bound. But in any event, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take the 2290 or 23 on the VIX and go check out our playbook. And that's exactly what we're showing here. It is our playbook. It's showing us what strategies and what the disposition of those strategies should be. So we're looking at something like 30 wide today, very similar to yesterday. That hasn't changed much. Yesterday we were around 20. 22 isn't a big change. So that's where we're at. 35 wide flies. What's the directional bias? Well, we're up. Now, with the the decreased gamma that we're experiencing right now, again, it's one of those things where we're teetering. There's a possibility that we could see a reversal at the open. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying that there is that possibility. I've seen these situations set up like this where after we have a couple of really strong days and gamma has flattened out a bit, you could see something like that. So just be aware. So directional bias is definitely up. So we'll be looking for that pullback into structural levels, and that's what we'll show you now. So here we can see, again, just moving up towards that volume profile level. Let me show you right here what I'm talking about. We're in this volume well here, lower liquidity, looking like we're going up towards this volume node where there's higher liquidity. This volume crevice here, this deep crack right at 58.35 on the ES is going to provide some significant resistance. And there's a possibility we might get that, like I said, that early morning reversal back down and find support on this node and then continue up. So that's what I'm thinking. I know I'm not big on this, prognostication stuff, but that's how it's setting up. In any event, we're still going by what our primary disposition is, looking at the width of our flies, looking at the directional bias, looking at structural levels that we're looking to bounce off of. And as I'm saying, here's the top of that node. I'm expecting us to come down. Perhaps. It may not reach it all the way down here, but that's what we're looking at. And we're waiting for that type of event to take and place our butterfly. All right. So there's the situation. Let's go back to the VIX, talk a little bit about tariffs and what I see on that front. So as I said, I think tariffs are the big news. It's partly the reason why volatility has dropped so much. President Trump's appears to be backing off on his pressure with some of his countries that he announced. You know, he was talking about April 2nd being Liberation Day. I don't believe he's changed that disposition. However, his language has softened that, and the market looks at that positively. So they think, the pressure's off, right? However, that is just a setup, in my view. You know, these tariffs may have calmed right now, but there is an underlying agenda for global currency chaos. Now, the way this is basically going to work is that this tariff stuff is really a long-term monetary play. It's kind of like a monetary reset. It's a slow motion move towards global currency friction. And what I believe, and Trump did this in his first term, where he creates this kind of friction, keeps everybody off balance, and then positions the United States for a more dominant global economic position. So this means that we're going to see a lot of rumor-driven volatility, not directional blowouts. And this is really the sweet spot for us 0 DTE traders. And that's really all I really care about. I don't want to get into this big political discussion, but this is something that's going on, and it does affect us tremendously. Of course, now Bostic has also, of the Fed, has come out saying that he thinks there's only going to be one rate cut. I'm sure that hasn't yet fed its way into the to Wall Street wonks, and so that's going to upset them a little bit. So you're going to get this tension going back and forth, particularly with the tariff stuff. So right now they think that there's a relief, and then you're going to see zingers that come in that take away that relief, like rug pull. So it's going to be controlled turbulence with what I call an asymmetric upside. All right? So that's how I see it. Oh, let's go back to the big head. That's how I see it. I think, as I said, tariffs are going to be a play for the foreseeable future. Rate cuts, they're backing off on that. So that's going to also provide some tension. So this move down on the VIX, I think, is temporary, and we're going to see a lot more volatility. As I had predicted earlier this year, we'll see a lot of volatility sort of hanging out in that lower third to the middle part of the Goldilocks zone, which is great for us. Volatility traders, essentially. All right, that's my report for this morning. I hope you enjoyed it. And hey, look, we'll see, whether or not I'm right or not. And all that really matters is that we play each day. We're present in the day, looking for an outlook that I think is positive. Either way, even if volatility does drop into zombie land, it's not a big deal. We make money no matter where it is, but we love volatility. All right, everybody, I hope you have a great trading day. This is Coach Ernie, and I am out.